reality is that every player is replaceable. Yeah, but on the long run, like you said, I want to have Mo Salah on the team definitely, because my season is long, and when I have to play against the big teams every 2 weeks.
But also, he's going to be watching at home, wishing he was here, wishing he could have helped.
Watching Dominic Szoboszlai step up for a penalty that he would have taken.
Yeah, but like you say, in the moment, right? There's a level of reflection because it's so raw now and it's so fresh. It's hard to reflect on the situation. We're in it, and I think for him, as a player who, for me, we've all been through ups and downs, you know what I mean? And some of it's by our own doing, some of it's not by our own doing. I think for Mo right now, he wants to help the team get back to where they are, where they've been, which was at the top. And I think watching what's happened, you want to be part of it. You at home, you sat there, and this goes for players who are injured, for players who are in situation. The last thing you want to do is not be part of it. And I think that's going to, of course, be hurting him because he knows he loves playing for this football club. I know, but I know this. Yeah. Mo's told me, I love playing for this football club. I don't want to leave this football club. This is where I want to be. He wants to be a Liverpool player, but he wants to play. At the end of the day, the manager has a decision.
So you know him. Do you think he will apologise?
I think they will have a conversation. I can't speak for Mo and what he's going to do. I don't know how he's going to feel on that. But I think, like Clarence has said, there needs to be another conversation between the manager and Mohamed Salah, and it needs to be resolved for me in a positive way because the club need him on the pitch. Positive, confident, being a leader in the camp. He's achieved everything possible at the football club.
And I believe he deserves a chance, and I think this is where he has the credits. I think he has never come out in such a strong way in all the time that he's been in Liverpool. I mean, I don't remember.
No, he has he has it in other ways.
Yeah, but nothing like this. Nothing like this. I mean, that happens all the time when it's contract-wise. I mean, the game comes from both sides, right? Because also the clubs play their game. But in this sense, I think this is where he has to have the credits and a little bit of respect to, okay, it was not the right way, but let's sit and talk. Yeah?
His captain is coming down to have a word with us. Virgil van Dijk will no doubt be also feeling that sense of relief tonight. And not just because of the last few days, but because that does put Liverpool in a much stronger position in terms of qualifying in that top 8 position. Which means they avoid a couple of extra matches in February, which I'm sure every Premier League manager would cash in if they could. Virgil, thank you so much for joining us at the desk. We're just going to hand you a microphone there. You didn't see that, did you? Nothing to see there. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Is relief the overwhelming emotion in terms of tonight's result after the last couple of days that you've had?
Well, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling of winning, especially in the period we are in. Trying to find consistency, trying to find something to build on, and hopefully tonight is one of those performances. Obviously, it's never easy to come here against a very good side, like we all know. So it was always going to be tough, but I think we handled the game well. Maybe it could have been a 0-0 game in the end, but obviously it ended positively for us for once in the last couple of weeks.
As a collective, how much did you discuss how you put aside the noise that is going on outside of your unit at the moment?
Well, it doesn't change. It doesn't change anything. There's obviously so much noise from the outside world, what is absolutely normal, especially if you don't perform, especially under the circumstances, and then it's absolutely deserved as well. But it's down to us to perform on the pitch, because that's the only thing what we can control. And we want to improve, we want to be consistent, we want to win games. We have the quality to do so, but we're not doing it not as much as we like, and it's just trying to stick together, be a unit like we always have been, and that's also what Liverpool stands for, in my opinion.
You said after the Nottingham Forest game that you need your leaders like Mo Salah on the pitch. Mo Salah didn't travel to Milan today. We all know why. For you, how tough has that been as a captain to deal with?
Obviously, it's difficult, but it's a collective difficult situation. Well, we all in, and obviously between Mo and the club, things are going on. and obviously for the consequences, he's not here today to help us try to get the three points, and that's the reality. But I don't think anything changes in terms of our focus, our determination in order to get results for this for the football club.
Daniel was just saying he would have been watching that, wanting to be part of this performance and be part of this tonight. Does an apology from him go some way to having a conversation with the manager? Does he need to apologise, do you think?
I don't think I'm the one to speak about if someone has to apologise for anything. You know, I think it's him airing his feelings over the last couple of days, and that's something that the club has to deal with, and obviously we as well. But if I look at the dressing room, when I said yesterday, because or Sunday, the day after, I think nothing really has changed. The task was that we have responsibility not only to ourselves, but to the whole football club and to all our fans in the world to perform. So the focus was there. Nothing else. Nothing has changed. He trained as well, by the way, on like you all saw.
You cannot say it, but I can say it. I think he should apologize, not so much because of what he said, but the decision to go out that, you know, creates a difficult environment inside and all the extras that you don't need at the moment. And I'm saying this as a big fan of Mo Salah, because I think he's a great professional, a great player. But as a captain, are you going to play a role in trying to bring peace again? Because this is such a delicate moment of the season, right?
It is. Well, you know, the reality also is that Mo is going to Africa on the weekend.
That is also true.
So there's an urgency.
You know,
so you don't have a lot of time.
The thing is, I know Mo for such a long time. We are good friends. We've been through highs and lows. He's been a big part of the success I've had at the club in my football career. I've been a big part of his success. Like we all are part of Liverpool Football Club such as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's we speak, and that those type of things will stay indoors,
of course.
it should be. And we have to, and I mean we as a team and players, and we have to brace ourselves only and be ready for be against the outside noise. That's the only thing we have to be ready for, and that's the only thing I encourage the players to do so.
Virg, you know, again, we played together, and addressing the highs and lows as a footballer, you know, tonight it's a high, right? You've won a game after a difficult week and a difficult moment, right? And then the lows are the previous performances you've had, and you know, my former teammate and your current teammate, who's a big leader in the group, isn't part of things right now. Talk to me about what it is for you and for the camp dealing with the highs and lows amidst the volatility.
Most important thing is obviously you speak with each other. Obviously, like, you can understand everyone is happy, but the reality is that you have to recover. Like, immediately back to Brighton already. Like, it's obviously you have to celebrate good moments, and you have to enjoy this as well, because otherwise, what's the point of winning? You know what I mean? So, but the focus is already like we stay overnight here. You have to do all the right things. You have to sleep well, eat well, because Brighton is coming to Anfield. And I think we've played Brighton for so many years, and it's always a difficult game. So what we try to achieve is never get too high, never get too low. And that's where you have to speak with each other. And obviously it's easy to say, but to act like it and to try and do it, that's the most difficult part. And if we do that, then we will get the consistency back that we had last year, because that's why we became champions. But that's the thing what we aim for.
Virgil, I wanted to ask you, because everyone is, we're talking a lot about what happened in the past, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what happened today. You look so solid, so confident. Did that change, or you felt different because of the system, or because you felt more comfortable with more people in the middle? You left a little bit the wide areas. Did that change or give you a little bit more of confidence at the back? You look, I mean, today the team controlled very well the whole game.
I think that was against Leeds for 60 minutes as well. But obviously, like, when you don't win games, when you lose games, when you concede easy goals at times, what we have done, and Arne was part of that as well, then obviously the outside world will focus a lot more on those type of things. But we try to find consistency. But today, obviously, we all know that they are very comfortable on the ball. They have two strikers that are very well played on each other, so we needed Ryan in front of us to either take a man that's dropping into midfield or the pass line. But the rest up front, I think everyone put a shift in, everyone runs so hard. defended well, but in the end it could have been a 0-0. But it is what it is. We take the 3 points and we move on.
Your manager's coming into the studio in just a second. I don't know, he's wandering onto the pitch, but he will come in here in a moment. Could I just ask you about the 2 goals, the disallowed, the penalty? Andy Robertson said a little bit soft, the penalty a little bit harsh. The disallowed a little bit harsh.
Yeah, well, listen, it goes so far, so I have no idea if it actually hit his arm. But what I do said, and also said to the ref, I think when referees make a decision like this, it has to be clear and obvious. And for it to take that long,
5 minutes.
First the VAR and then himself, it's already like you're looking for something that, you know, could be there, could not be there. So I don't think it helps the game. But it is what it is.
I said the same, by the way.
Yeah, no,
it shouldn't take so long. It's annoying, right?
Because obviously, like, everyone is guessing, everyone is waiting, everyone's looking and discussing with each other. And
I'm curious because I didn't play with VAR like this, of course. Does it break the rhythm?
Of course, if you stop the game for 5 minutes, you definitely break the rhythm.
The momentum
And
did
also,
shift, didn't it, a little
exactly.
bit at
Like
that
Inter
point?
was quite good after that as well.
You were definitely on top.
On the pressure as well. So
your manager's waiting, so you might want to play use that as a baton, hand it over to him, because he's looking down here and he was looking like he was going to get in. Thank you so much. Probably wants you to go and do your rest and recovery ahead of Brighton at the weekend. There is Arne Slot. Yeah, take the mic for him. Thanks. I'll get him to do my lifting, Virgil. Virgil van Dijk, they're very honest and candid, as we've always experienced with him, coming to the desk and addressing the big issues that Liverpool have had to deal with this season of inconsistency. And Arne Slot, big smile on his face, because that's a big win for Liverpool tonight. Congratulations, Arne. That was a big win. It was a big win for many reasons. Let's deal with the footballing reasons first, because that puts you in the top 8 tonight. And those points could be, at the end of the reckoning of the league phase, very important in terms of finishing in the top 8.
Yeah, of course. We were 3 points behind Inter. And apart from that, if you want to end top 8, I think 15 points is the minimum you need. So, the best thing you can do then is win over here, which wasn't easy because they have a very good team, started the season really well. But I think overall a good performance from us.
Yeah, and you set the team up differently tonight. There was, of course, pre-match, Lewis and I were chatting about the importance of the midfield helping the defence in terms of their job. Did you see that tonight, and were you pleased with that midfield performance?
Yeah, definitely. Although the midfield is always helping the defence a lot. But like you said, I think there was a lot of commitment from the players. Second half, I think we pressed a bit higher and more aggressive than we did in the first half. That had also to do with the changes they've made. So in the first half we decided to keep a +1 in the back. But in the first half they made a few changes, so it didn't feel right to do the second half still do this, because Akanji went a few times all the way into the midfield. So we pressed them higher, but when we were outplayed, all 11 players came behind the ball, trying to make sure we didn't concede. And we were already a few times close, I think, to score, which we didn't. Although, we did score, but that one was disallowed. And in the end, we got a penalty.
And the penalty was taken by Dominic Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
His first penalty for Liverpool. Your normal penalty taker is back at home. And I know you've spoken a lot about Mo Salah in the last 24 hours. Does that result lead to relief from you in terms of what has happened over the last day?
If you mean the 3-3 against Leeds and the draw against Sunderland, then you're correct. Then it's a relief. But that is something different than what you were just describing.
So you can't separate what's happened. That still is.
I separate these things. Yeah. I think it was really hard for the players to concede in the last minute against Leeds, where, in my opinion, we already played a very good game. We hardly conceded a chance. That's in the last 4 games in general. We've hardly conceded a chance. To go away there with 3 goals conceded and a draw was really hard to take, and then that was already emotional. Then what happened afterwards was emotional, I think, as well. Cost maybe a little bit of energy. 4th game in 10 days, 13 outfield players available that have Premier League or Champions League experience. That shows you, I think, the resilience.
The energy you talk
have.
about that it took away, not just from you. You think it took energy away from the group as well? What has happened over there?
We should ask them, but like I said, conceding the 3-3 in extra time is already a big blow after the week we had, because we were so close of picking up 7 points out of 3 games. Then you concede. Then of course there's a lot of things being said, and I think that always affects a team a little bit as well. If you've been in the dressing room, you know, okay, it's about a player with the manager, but or with the club, but that normally affects players a bit as well, especially because he's been so influential for the club and for the players. So it's never nice, I think, to see something happens like this to one of their teammates.
Would you like to sit down and have communication with Mo Salah before he goes off to AFCON at the weekend?
I think tonight it should be all about what we've done over here in a stadium like this against Inter winning. All the focus should be on that tonight, and I can fully understand if I go Friday again into the press conference that all questions will be about Mo, but I think these players deserve now that we speak about them.
Well, I don't exactly agree on that, because
you're a journalist now.
Yeah. And I mean, we have obviously great respect for you and Mo Salah and everything, and we don't want to be polemic. But it's also to understand, because there's a lot of assumption made by us as well. Do you have the intention though to bring him back? Like, because that is our view, right? I would love to see that happen, because everybody makes mistakes in life, things happen, and you always have the spirit. What is your spirit, which we can...
Yeah, but then you say everyone makes mistakes in life, so the first thing should be, does the player think he's made a mistake as well?
But how are you going to know that if you don't talk with him? So you're going to talk with him to understand that?
I haven't said that I'm not going to talk to him. I just said that the focus should be on.
I know.
And then the next question is, should the initiative come from me or from him? Now, that's another question to answer. But as I said, the focus for tonight should be about, for example, Virgil, because the fans are singing for him. But not only Virgil, I think Ibu Konate, he's had maybe a few difficult moments recently, but he played an outstanding game today as well against 2 very good strikers.
No, the team has performed definitely. We all agree on the fact you were very compact and everything. You know, the curiosity here, Arne, because we know how important the rest of the season will be.
Yeah.
And that's why this topic is important, not because we want to talk about the polemics, but you just said something very important. Your players here perform very well.
Yeah.
You're laughing.
It's going in another angle.
Because it's, you have shaped a team from last year, taking over from, you know, a very nice run they had. All the goodies came. Last year I said you guys peaked too early in the Champions League. Right. This year it's struggling a little bit more.
I don't think we peaked too early. We had bad luck that after ending up first, we had a draw against
That's
PSG.
True. That's true.
And we peaked against them because we were the only team that brought them to penalties. So yeah, I don't think we peaked too early, but unfortunately we had to play a team.
That was already a final practically.
Practically, although afterwards they had with Arsenal some difficult, and Aston Villa some difficult opponents as well. But like I said, we were the only one who could bring them to penalties last season, and unfortunately we were not able to win against them. But they deserved to win it in the end, because they had a fantastic season with so many good players.
I just wanted to share what I said, so you don't have to answer anything. I said that I believe that the team, the club and the coach, when a player is hurt for whatever reason, right, wrong, whatever, should make the first step and open the door for him to then see what is happening. This is was my comment.
Yeah. Okay. That's your opinion.
So no. So I'll see what's going to happen.
Daniel,
anyway, good luck with that.
Yeah, of course. Of course, I'd love the situation to be resolved with Mo. I love Mo and love the club, and would love for you to repair the relationship with him. That would be great. On tonight, defensively, Arne, how impressed were you with your team's commitment in the defensive phase? Clean sheet in the Champions League against a very difficult opponent, playing away from home. How do you feel about that tonight?
I think I've said a few times already, after the PSV and Nottingham Forest game, where we've conceded 7 goals in 2 games, I think it was time for us to concede less. And I think that's what we did afterwards. So the first game against West Ham, we had a clean sheet, conceded the first chance in the 90th minute. Then we played Sunderland, where we conceded the first chance in the 96th minute, because when they scored, that wasn't even a chance. Leeds hardly created a chance against us, scored a set piece, got a penalty from the VAR, and made a good goal. And tonight, again, I think there was only one header from, I think it was Lautaro who headed it. Yes. Great save from Ali. And a free kick that came close. For the rest, I think I saw a performance from a team that worked really hard, showed a lot of resilience after another disappointment, because I think the goal we scored on another night, that would have been a goal. That was maybe the only 5, 6, 7 minutes afterwards where we struggled. But we showed character in the second half. We changed a little bit the tactics, and we did really well.
So could I just ask one more question? Sorry. The creative chemistry. You've got a lot of games coming up, and you've got a lot of new attackers. You of course lose Mo to AFCON. With the games being so quick, how do you plan to build on the chemistry, whether it be on the training field? Is it via video, or how do you plan to do that?
No, it's mainly then video, what you can use. Although Saturday we play, and I think then we have a week off. Not a week off. We can train a week before we play Tottenham away. I think there's again a week in between before we play at home against Wolves. I'm not 100% sure.
Sure either, to be
so there is a bit more training time coming up.
There, your fixture list's up there.
Okay.
There you go.
I was right.
You're right.
Wolves, yeah. No, but I think it's not common in football that you play 4 games in 10 days. It's not common to play 3 games in 7. And that's what we had to deal with only 13 outfield players available tonight. If I exclude our very talented players that we also brought to this game, but all 3 of them have no Premier League or Champions League experience. And Conor Bradley suspended on the weekend, so another challenge coming up because Brighton had a week to prepare for us, and we've got a few days for them now.
Your press officer is giving me daggers, so I'm going to have to
Sorry,
let you go. But Lewis wanted to ask you a question, well, but sorry, I have to save it next time. Thank you very much for coming out to speak to us and for fronting up on everything. I know it's been a very difficult 24 hours, and of course, Arne Slot has been asked ad nauseum about Mo Salah, and really he didn't want to go down that road tonight, but you took on the peacemaker there. I could see you in the room, actually, sitting between the pair. I think this
is easy. People make things bigger than they are. Seriously,
you could do this.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he spoke about emotion, the late draws, the results.
By the way, that noise there, that is the Liverpool fans who are still here for Arne Slot. They see Arne Slot just there, and
I mean, how can anything change after 9 years of Mo Salah? How can anything change with somebody who just actually won the Premier League and they're struggling a little bit? If there's any club that will be united, it's Liverpool in the world, right? That is what we expect. So I really expect that they will embrace this moment now internally, solve this and talk it out.
It seemed, from what he said to me then, that there's a willingness for him to have a conversation if it's initiated on Mo's side, which I assume, knowing Mo, he'd be happy to have that conversation. And hopefully the situation gets resolved in a positive way, because having an available and hungry, determined Mohamed Salah is what you want in your squad. You want him coming back from AFCON, flying, fit and looking good.
We got all our answers. The captain said he's good with Mo. We talk. That's going to happen. The captain will make sure that Mo will make the step if that is the request from coach and club. That's what I believe. But you'll tell me, you're the inside man. So.
I don't know. Hey, listen, you're Dutch. I don't know, you're Dutch, bro.
I think too many insights. It's as easy as get the phone, give a ring and just chat and meet at some point. So I think that it will be easy to, if they want, just to get alone and to try to find a solution to this one, because again, Mo Salah and Liverpool has been at that for many years, and hopefully we can see it for a bit more.
And you can see this for Liverpool set up the new formation in terms of lots of bodies central. It's a half chance, decent save from the goalkeeper, but Liverpool have done well to control Inter Milan at home, really, and we stopped them getting chances. And this is the disallowed one.
Do you agree it's a handball though, Jamie, there?
What I would say, and I've looked at a guy who does a lot of decisions, Dale Johnson his name is, if you want to follow him. He covers the Premier League. He said that is a goal that would be disallowed in Europe, but wouldn't be disallowed in the Premier League because it wasn't intentional by Ekitike.
But it wasn't Europe.
But it wasn't Europe, yeah.
Thierry?
Yeah, and then the chance of Lautaro Martinez, as you're going to see here. Great header, great save from Alisson here, as you're going to see. It's a bit close to him, but still you have to react. and didn't
Conor
concede.
Bradley, I think this was the best chance of the game. Goalkeeper does well. Listen, it's a tight angle, Mikey. You've probably been in those positions at right back and probably missed it like him as he comes through. You see he's onside in that position there. It's a tight angle. Maybe you try and go through the legs, Thierry, no more than me.
I think it's just.
But this is what the game hinged on. This penalty appeal.
I think I'd be very disappointed if this went against me or my team.
You'd be saying it's a disgrace.
No. What I would say is that I don't think that's a penalty. But you know, if I was an Inter Milan player or the manager, I'd say, "What are you doing, grabbing his shit? Make it even making it giving the referee a decision to make. I don't think it's a penalty." But just don't pull his shirt. It's not like you're pulling him back because he's going through to the goal. He's got his back to goal. He's going nowhere. So he's only got himself to blame there, but I do think it was a little bit harsh.
Manuel Akanji has actually just spoken to Aranita Jones, who's over there at the San Siro. This was his thoughts on the penalty decision. Let's hear it.
Yeah, it was a penalty situation. I mean, he pulls his shirt, but it's a soft pull. And obviously, if you watch everything in slow motion, everything looks far worse than it actually is. The player runs away from the goal, and he pulls his shirt a bit. And it's one of the softest penalties I've ever seen. But in the end, we also have to be honest, and we can't get in the position and, to give the referee even the opportunity to whistle a penalty there. But, to me, it's never a pen. But we also have to be honest with ourselves and don't come in the position to give the referee even the opportunity to give a penalty like this.
Go on, Jamie.
I was just saying we didn't need to hear from him because I just told you exactly what had happened there. But no.
Are you sure? I think it was all about something different.
No, he was talking about he felt it was harsh, like we said, but he said about his own player. What are you doing, grabbing a shirt in the box like that? It's daft, isn't it? Yeah. And especially when it's not like it's not like it's a panic where someone's going through on the goal and you're behind them and you do something instinctively. I mean, where's he going? I think it's very harsh to do, and I'd be disappointed against me. But you've gave the referee an opportunity, and that's daft, especially from a player as experienced as him.
Is there any reason that we have the chopsticks?
I've had them all night because I didn't use them with my food. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm like Hannah. I use a fork instead of chopsticks. But tonight, maybe we can both learn how to use chopsticks.
Maybe that'd be interesting.
I thought it'd be good. A good segment.
Segment, yeah. Okay. Matthew, have you got any interest in a chopstick segment?
No, how to use them. I've never used them. I've never picked food up with a chopstick.
No.
Should we drop table time for it? No, everyone's excited about table time this week.
Are we?
We got a special edition of table time coming for you. Thierry, this is the winner.
Yeah, on the penalty that wasn't a penalty, but you still have to bury it. And Szoboszlai did that. One of the best players of Liverpool so far this season, I have to say. He was magnificent. McAllister was very good. I like the way Liverpool played and stopped actually Inter playing. The tactic set up by the coach was on point. That 4-diamond-2, that at times the two strikers had to work really hard. Ekitike kept the ball very well. Isak, you could see that he's still not at the races in terms of playing the whole game. I just like the way they were. Curtis Jones in midfield, Szoboszlai, McAllister. You could see that Joe Gomez also lacking of minutes because he struggled at the end of the game a tiny bit. But that was a proper Liverpool performance that I remember of your team doing, Jamie, in the times of Benitez. That's how you play away from home. I didn't think they had it in their locker. That's what I was saying at the very beginning. But they stopped Inter playing, regardless of if it was a penalty or not a penalty. And the result is how they played the game. That was, I would say, if you're a Liverpool fan, obviously, Jamie, reassuring to what can come next.
OK, so good news for Liverpool tonight. We've got...
Ya saltan 1K y el Barrio. Es determinante cuánto daño puede hacer el conjunto de 1K, sobre todo con Granero en esas primeras de cambio en la salida de escalera. Así que esa parte del partido va a ser absolutamente clave para el equipo de Iker Casillas. Por cierto, felicitar porque ha venido una buena afición de 1K.
Tiene la pelota, Gerard Noya encara, sigue Noya, Noya dispara, Arnalot.
80
paradas ya para Arnalot. Silvidal ataca desde la derecha el número 9. Silvidal con el centro, buena pelota, Arche, con la rodilla le pegó. Pues es el que desatasca un poco el partido, ¿no? Con centros, ojo ahí, se golpeó, el remate, ¡gol! ¡Marc Valiente! ¡Gol! Del Barrio, marca Marc Valiente. Esa banda izquierda que es terreno de los cañonazos de Granero, a la que tengo un mínimo de espacio, le pega Granero. Bueno, pues es decirlo, y ahí lo tenemos. El tema es que el remate le ha salido centrado. Abraham, buena pelota, banda derecha. Vamos a ver qué hace ahí Fran Rodríguez, se mete en el área, sigue Fran. ¡Qué bien, Fran! Se va de dos, el remate, ¡fuera!
¡Chicos!
A ver si acierta. ¡Claro que
Mira
sí!
acá.
Busca el Barrio el segundo gol. Arche. Arche para Gil. Gil que le puede pegar a este Gil. Buen recorte. Gil al
¡Dios!
palo. Levanta Arche.
¡Dios! ¡No! Madre mía, qué parada. Y a centímetros del remate, ¿eh?
No, la reacción ha sido impresionante. El disparo. ¡Madre de Dios!
¡Ay!
¡Otro que vuela! ¡Otro más! Que está la pelota para John de la Cruz. La quiere levantar. Vuelve a pegar la pelota en el cuerpo de un jugador del Barrio. El remate con la puntera y acaba deteniendo a Gerard Vacas. Será córner favorable a 1K. Bueno, a ver.
Gol doble.
Gol doble. A ver, saque de banda. Balón puesto en movimiento. Intentaba rematar más valiente. El remate. ¡Gol! ¡Bauer! ¡Gol! ¡Del Barrio! ¡Le pegó con el alma! ¡Bauer!
Y es…
¡Penalti
¡Madre
normal!
mía lo de los penaltis!
¡Penalti normal! Y el que quiere hacer el 0-3 es el número 4, pega valiente. ¡Vaya cañón! ¡Gol! Ahí están, Arnalot y Vacas como candidatos, como guardametas y también Mar Valiente y Pau Ferojo la recuperación. Tiene la pelota al Barrio que puede sentenciar el remate. ¡Gol!
Knockout.
¡Gol!
¡Let's go, Barria! Ponme el 5, ponme el 5, ponme el 5.
El cambio del partido ha sido radical en los últimos 10 minutos. El balón que lo tiene. ¡Ojo!
¡Ay! Jaimitada.
Marca de nuevo el Barrio, gol de Fran Fuentes. El equipo de Juan Arroita, que no ganaba un encuentro con esta tranquilidad, entre comillas, al final, con un margen tan amplio, con 2 goles dobles que han hecho pasar el partido del 0-3 al 0-7.
Paufer, ha costado, pero por fin ha llegado esa victoria tan deseada con goleada.
Ha costado mucho, pero bueno, le damos emoción hasta el momento final, recta final, y ahora, pase lo que pase con Pío, nos lo jugaremos contra ellos.
Eso te iba a decir, pase lo que pase con Pío, la semana que viene, o ellos, o tú, o tu ex equipo, o tú.
Bueno, o el Barrio o ellos, pero sí. La vida, yo qué sé, no sé, son cosas muy raras que suceden, pero ahí estaremos. Ahora estoy en el Barrio, así que espero que gane el Barrio.
Enhorabuena y a disfrutarlo.
Gracias.